Leslie, sir.
Good evening. I'm Leslie Summer. I'm here on behalf of the Historic Downtown Strand Seaport Partnership. The partnership supports the smoking ordinance as enacted by council. However, in light of concerns raised by downtown businesses, the partnership respectfully requests that council amend the smoking ordinance to allow smoking in outdoor areas 5 feet away from a building entrance, which could include outdoor patio seating areas outside that 5-foot radius. I'd also like to respond this evening to comments that were made earlier regarding the community input meetings for the Galveston Downtown Redevelopment Plan. The gentleman that spoke was given the same opportunity for public input as every other person of the public that attended the meetings that evening. Unfortunately, there seems to have been a miscommunication or misinterpretation of what community input would mean. I believe that particular gentleman thought that that would mean it was going to be open mic night at the Galveston Island Convention Center, and it wasn't. We had a series of structured activities through which the public who attended those meetings would be allowed to comment on the plan that we were undertaking for downtown. Everyone in the room was invited to participate in those activities and to share their opinions, thoughts, and ideas about the future of downtown and our waterfront through those activities. However, no one was offered the opportunity to stand at an open mic and expound on their individual thoughts. That wasn't part of the evening's activities. So I would just like to clear that up for all of you, that it wasn't that any individual or any organization or any group was not allowed to participate in the public input process that we provided on those 2 evenings. Thank you.
Dennis Byrd.
Mayor Thomas.
Oh, sorry. Leslie.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that you came out this afternoon. I was expecting to see Craig, but however, I'm glad to see you. Because, normally I don't take time out to discuss rumors and things of that particular nature, but however, I feel like it would be totally remiss not to say something about many of the accusations that has been floating the last week or two. I believe that the Daily News also printed that I had been in contact with the Downtown Partnership as well as the Strand merchants. And it was the position that was given to me for an across-the-board ban. And after meeting with those organizations, that was the position that I brought to council. However, you know, there was a reversal, that it was Taurus Woods and in Taurus Woods district and what have you. Taurus Woods was simply listening to the organizational structure inside the district before, and then thinking over the entire ban as well, but listening to the business constituents inside that district. And today, you're basically saying, if I interpret what you are saying, is that in the beginning you all supported across the board ban. However, in the last week or two, is that the organization has taken a different position. Am I understanding that correctly?
No, sir. Councilman Woods, the position that I read to you this evening is the first position that the Board of Directors of the Downtown Partnership has adopted. Up until today, we have not had an official stance on the smoking ordinance. It wasn't until after the ordinance was acted upon that a number of our business owners who are members of the partnership and others in the downtown area brought to our attention their specific concerns, especially those revolving around outdoor seating areas. And at that point, the issue was taken to our board of directors, and they were polled, and they supported what I read for you this evening. But my organization has, before today, not had an official stance. Now, unfortunately, I cannot speak on behalf of Dr. Brown. I don't know what conversation you may have had with him or what he may have expressed, but as an organization, this is the only official position that we have had on the issue.
Well, then I need to apologize to you as well then, because when I was speaking with Dr. Brown, and Dr. Brown told me that they had talked to the majority of the businesses downtown, and the majority of the business favored across-the-board smoking ban. For some strange reason, I thought that since I was talking to the person that I thought was in charge, that he was conveying the message of the organization. I do not want to get into all the particulars on that. I just simply went forward with what I was advised from Mr. Craig Brown. And perhaps I'll do better the next time to make sure that when I'm speaking with the person whom I think is in charge, that person has gotten the support of the other board members. So I'll apologize simply for not conducting a more deeper, intense fact-finding on that one, okay? All right, thank you
Yes,
very
sir.
much, Leslie.
Mr.
I have a
Weber.
question, Leslie.
Leslie.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, Mr. Rourke has obviously left the building. I guess the simple question is, was Mr. Rourke allowed to speak at that meeting or not?
He was allowed to speak. We couldn't stop anyone from speaking. He wasn't allowed to have an open microphone and speak in front of the whole. No one was given the opportunity to come to a microphone and speak. We had a series of structured activities that everyone, we were table-based activities that people were asked to participate in. And he was given the opportunity and did in fact participate in those. And his table was able to, at the end of the meeting, as every other table, was given the opportunity to express what had been discussed at their table. And he expressed his thoughts, as he did this evening, about the activities at Pier 10 and others. Actually, I believe his wife did. I don't think Teddy actually took the microphone, but he was able to participate in that way. But I don't know if, anyway. Does that answer
So
your
he was
question?
able to participate in one of your breakout groups, but he was not enabled to ask a question at a public meeting to a group at large where you had someone making a presentation to an at-large group, but the public in general was not allowed to ask questions of the presenter, excuse me?
He was allowed to ask a question. He wasn't given a forum to stand in front of a microphone and talk at length about his opinion at that point. That wasn't what we were equipped to do. We were equipped to have a presentation and then go into a breakout session because it was being taped to then be played on TV. So he was allowed to ask his questions.
Either he was allowed to participate and speak or he wasn't. And speaking at a breakout group, and we've been to many of these things, speaking at breakout groups is considerably different than speaking to the group at large when the group at large has been presented.
The opportunity to speak to the group at large was after the table activities were done, and each table presented to the group at large what had been discussed at their table and the overarching themes of what their concerns, ideas, and thoughts were for downtown. His ideas and thoughts were presented as part of his table at the end.
Thank you, Leslie. But
I know what you're asking, Mr. Weber, but
if you're going to have a public
answer
forum, it seems
it,
that
so.
the public should be able to participate. When we have a public forum here, just like we are, the
Well,
public is allowed to participate.
It was a community input meeting. It wasn't a public forum.
Mm-hmm.